Welcome to our first video in the Sun-Earth series. My name is Bryony and I'm a physicist at Imperial College in London. I'm going to ask you a bit of a strange question. Have you ever thought about the sun? And I mean really thought about it, not just wondered if it was going to show up in the English summer, but actually thought about where it came from. What is the relationship that our Earth has with it? And how long is that going to last? Let's start from the beginning. Where did our sun come from? Well, wind back the clock about 5,000 million years. Our sun and our Earth aren't here. What is here is a cloud of gas and dust, mostly hydrogen atoms, the most common atom in the universe, called a nebula. It might have looked a little bit like this. This is an image taken by the Hubble Space Telescope, and I can only hope that we came from something so beautiful. Now, in this cloud of mostly hydrogen atoms, there'll be a few places where it's a little denser than others. There, gravity will start to pull things in even more. The closer you are, the more gravity can pull you in. And so this small section will get denser and denser, which means more stuff will be pulled in. So in this cloud, there'll start to be these pockets of denser stuff. Now inside these pockets, even more stuff will start to collect until at the center, we have these very, very hot, high pressure environments where nuclear fusion can start. Now, I know that sounds like a weird word, but it's actually quite simple. Nuclear fusion, as far as a star is concerned, is just squishing hydrogens together so much that they combine and form helium, releasing energy in the process. And at that point, a star is born. Not just a single star, there'll be lots of stars inside this nebula. There'll be lots of little pockets that were a little bit denser and started to gravitationally bind all of that dust and gas. So our sun likely has many siblings. They've just probably moved out of home by now. You'll notice I haven't talked about our Earth yet, and that's because on a cosmic scale, we don't really matter for this. We are just the tiniest, small, little byproduct of this cosmic process. So our Earth is small. Okay, but how small compared to our sun? Well, if I have a beach ball, pretty small as far as beach balls go, but it'll do. How big do we think the Earth is? A bit of a think. The Earth would be this big. The size of a peppercorn. We are on this tiny little peppercorn planet going around our sun. We are so small. Our Earth could fit inside our sun over 1 million times over. And as for the distance, well, we're nowhere near this close. In fact, it's more like this distance here. So we are here on this tiny little peppercorn of a planet, whizzing through the inky darkness of space, separated from our main star by 150 million kilometers. Now, if you were somehow able to drive to the sun at motorway speeds, that would take you, give or take, 160 years. Even light, the fastest thing in the universe, traveling at about 300,000 meters per second, would take 8 whole minutes to travel between the sun and the Earth. That means every time you feel sunlight on your face, it left the sun 8 whole minutes ago. We're always experiencing the sun as it was in the past. Now, like I said, we're not static in space. In fact, nothing is still. There's all sorts of motion. Our sun is spinning, but so are we here on the Earth. We spin on our axis once every 24 hours, giving us our day and our night. And we also go around the sun. That is where we get our year from. One round trip every year. Every birthday is a celebration of a round trip Well accomplished. So that's the now. But what about in the future? Well, our sun does use hydrogen as fuel, so it is going to run out one day. But not for another 5,000 million years or so, so not until we're all long gone. What's going to happen then, though, is that the innermost part of our sun will start to shrink down while the outer parts expand outwards, swallowing up the inner planets, Mercury and Venus, which are between us and the sun, and maybe even swallowing up our Earth. Then it will blow off its outer layers, leaving behind just that really dense core, no longer fusing hydrogen into helium, just radiating away energy. Now that we've talked about all this motion of our sun and our Earth, let's see how that might inspire us to dance.
Hi everyone, my name's James and I'm a dance artist from The Place. This is Bobby, who is a musician who is going to accompany the session today. So, did you enjoy hearing about the Sun Life stories with Bryony? We're now going to explore some of those stories through our bodies. But before we do so, please make sure you've got plenty of room around you. Do ask an adult to help move any chairs and tables and make sure that you've taken off your socks so you don't slip. Okay, so we're going to begin with a warm-up. And this warm-up is going to be inspired by the birth of the sun. So we're going to think about those particles coming together, growing, and attracting more particles with their gravity. So essentially, we're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger with our movement as the warm-up goes on, just like the sun did at the start of its life. So we're going to begin with our feet in parallel position. So you want your feet to be hip distance apart. And when you bend your knees, you want to make sure that they're tracking over your toes so they don't go inwards or outwards. Okay? And we're going to start our warm-up in a crouched position. So we're going to start here. And really slowly, with the top of your head, you're going to grow outwards halfway and then coming back in nice and slowly all the way back to your crouch. Reaching out in another direction with the top of your head, maybe a bit further this time, and then back in nice and slowly. You can copy me or you can go in your own direction and back in. Every time you're going to get that much more expansive, just like the sun growing. Good, one more, reaching out, 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 and in. Good, now we're going to have our elbow and our knee going as far away as possible from each other, and then back in to the center. Out, and in. Other side. Good, and just keep exploring different variations. Good, now we're going to use our hands and our feet as far away as possible, and then back into your center. Really reaching as far as you can, and then back in. One more, reaching, and back to center. In you go. Let's try and reach as high as we can. High level. And the next one, we're going to go to a medium level, reaching out. And the last one, low level. Good. Again, as high as you can. You don't have to copy me, remember. You can do your own thing. Medium. And low. Again, high. Medium. low. One more time, reaching, medium level, and low level. Good. We're going to add some balances now. So you're going to reach up and balance. And medium level balance, expansive movement, huge. And low level. Nice, good. Coming back up. We're going to now allow the movement to flow into each other. So you just explore the whole room now with these huge expansive shapes. Maybe we can start to build, getting a little bit faster through your movement. And coming back to the center, finding your parallel position again, rolling up. Lovely. And take a breather. Well done, everyone. That's your warm-up. So, do you remember Bryony talking about the pressure of the particles fusing together to create the sun? And this huge amount of force reminds me of a dance effort called press. So in your space, just find a parallel position, and you're going to press out in your space anywhere you like, just with your hands for now. You'll notice when you're pressing that it's direct. So when you press, you wouldn't press in a flexible pathway. It's always direct. You'll also notice that it's sustained. You have to keep the continuous level of pressure all the way to the end of the movement. It's also very strong when we do a press with our bodies. So we're now going to move across the space using those three words. So we've got strong, direct, and sustained. So we're going to start from this side of the room, and we're going to travel all the way to the other side. So if you don't have enough space to come across the room, you can just do it on the spot, that's fine. So we're going to introduce a little bit of music with this. So we're starting off, and you're going to imagine that you're pressing all the way to the end of the room. Here we go. So if you bend your knees, you can get really low, and you can really feel that tension through your body. Keep pressing the space. And when you get halfway, you're going to use your back to press through your back all the way to the end. Keep going. Straight away, when you get to the other side, you're going to push forwards again. Make sure your knees are bent. If your feet are like this and your legs are straight, it's much harder. So you're going to bend nice and low to press. Halfway, switch to your back. Nice. You should feel a lot of effort here. You're going to try with different body parts now. So maybe with an elbow, the top of your head, maybe with your foot and your back. And now explore for yourself any body part you like, coming across the space, direct, sustained, and strong. Good. Now we're going to go high, medium, and low. Okay? So we start off high. In the middle, we're going to be medium level. When we get to the end, we'll be low. Okay, here we go. Starting high. Here we go. Go, push. Really high up. Halfway, medium level, and low. Nice, good, just shake it off. Whew. You should feel like that's quite hard work. What you can do now is you could pause the video and you could go with a partner. So your partner could be the opposite side of the space, and you can press inwards towards the center. When you reach the center, your hands will be touching your partner's hands on the other side. So your partner will be coming from this way, pushing to get to here. If you'd like to have a go at that, you can pause the video now. So Bryony's told us about the scale of the sun, the huge scale of the sun in comparison to our small Earth. We had that beach ball and they had that really tiny little peppercorn. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a couple of movements together. So this movement is going to start small, Earth, and then we're going to make it huge. We're going to upscale it to the size of the sun. So we're going to start in our parallel position again, and just make sure that your knees can track over your toes like before. And you're going to bring your wrists together, so your right hand is going to be on top of your left. Great. You can have a small bend in your knees here. So you're going to have your fingertips of your right hand are going to come towards your face, and the other hand is going away from you here. So it's like a big sunflower almost, opening, and then you're going to close it on top like this. And you'll see that my hands are cupped to create that circular shape. So if you had your hands like this, that creates more of a parallel line, but we want to cup so you see that Earth for now. Good. So wrists on top of each other, right hand on top. It comes towards your face and down. Good. One more time. This time, we're going to go out, and then you're going to bend your knees, and your head goes down that last little moment. One more. Around and down. Great. So that's our Earth. We're now going to make it huge like the sun. So this is going to start with your arms actually parallel to each other. And your right arm is going to reach away, and your left arm goes below, goes all the way around and down. So it's just like a supersized version of this one. So your arms are here, reaching out all the way around, huge windmill type feel, and down. Great. So let's put those together. So we go small and down and huge and down. So let's add a bit of music to that. So tempo-wise, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? 5, 6. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2. Big. One more time. Fantastic. Well done. Brilliant. Let's learn another one. This one's quite simple, actually. You're going to bend your knees, you're going to bring your arms in towards you, and you're going to flick your energy out. Flick. Imagine you've got water on your hands. Flick out. So that's the Earth, the small scale. And then we go huge for the sun. You come in, and you shoot your arms out. Your focus goes up, and we go as expansive as we can, just like in the warm-up. So let's try that all together. So we bend our knees, arms are in, we go small, and then we go huge. Nice. Let's try that with a little bit of music. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? 5, 6. Here we go. 2, big. Bring it in, small. And big. Bring it in last time, small and huge. Hold it there. Fantastic. I think we should add them both together now. Let's add a bit of music. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? 5, 6. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big. Hold it there. Well done. Fantastic. Good job, everyone. Okay, so we're now going to learn a short routine based on the birth of the sun. So we're going to start in our parallel position, and then you're going to take one step out and another step out. So your feet are quite wide, but make sure that your knees can still track over your toes there. Great. So we're going to bend our knees. Our pelvis is going to be dropped down. We're going to bring our arms together here, thinking of those particles coming together. So we're going to create quite a small sun to begin with, and it's going to grow and grow and grow as the routine continues. So we start here, and you just take a little rock to your right and then a rock to your left. So all I'm doing is pressing my heels down into the floor. So you can think of the pressure here as well, down and down as you rock right and left. We're going to do it again, and the arms get that little bit bigger, like so. So from the top, bending your knees, small sun to begin with. We have rock and 2, bit bigger, 3 and 4. Nice. From here, your elbow is going to come in towards your body, and you're going to take a circle of the hands around. A little bit like a kind of rainbow, I guess, all the way around to here. Then they're going to go all the way up towards the sky. You can use your focus, look up to your hands as you make this really expansive, huge sun. From the top, with our rocks, small sun to begin with. So you go 1, 2, bit bigger, 3, 4, elbows in, and now huge. Nice. Let's repeat that one more time before we move on. Here we go. Knees over toes, small sun, ready, and 1, 2, bigger, 3, 4, elbows and arms. From here, you're going to use your left arm, and it's going to press with a huge amount of pressure all the way across to the other side of the room. You'll notice that I'm in a lunge position here, and my knee is in a line with my ankle. That's really important. You don't want it to be over like this. It needs to be aligned. Really strong. From here, you're going to bring it back in sharp, back to this low position. You do the same thing to the other side. Huge pressure, out to the other side of the space, and then back in to there. All right? So you've gone small circle, huge sun, then you press out, back in, strong, press out, and back in. Final thing, 2 more rocks, we know this. Rock and rock, then you step forward with your right leg and push your hands out, and you step together and drop your head like this for a bit of dramatic effect at the end. All right, so small, big into pressing, press and in, press and in. 2 rocks, rock and rock, step forward and press, head down, parallel position with your feet at the end. Loads of energy through your arms as well. Great. We're going to do that all the way from the beginning to the end, and then we'll add a bit of music. Okay, so in our starting positions, hands coming in. Here we go. Ready? And rock. 1, 2, bigger, 3, 4, elbows in, and arms, and press, and in, and press, and in. 2 rocks, rock, and rock. Step forward, head down. Great, everyone. Let's try with a bit of music. Okay, I'm going to count us in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready, positions. 6. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Elbows in. And huge. And press. And in. Press. And in. Rock. Step forward. Head down. Nice. Should we give it one more for luck? Yeah? Ready, here we go. 2, bigger, 3, 4, elbows in. Look at your hands, and push. Rock, step forward, here we go, step, head. Great, everyone, good job. Thanks, Bobby. So if you'd like to have another go at that routine, you can rewind the video now. We're going to continue into a cool down. So our cool down is going to be inspired by the end of the sun's life. So it's going to be shrinking down all the way down to the size of the Earth, where it becomes a white dwarf star. So we're going to start in our parallel position, feet hip distance apart, knees tracking over your toes. We're going to reach up the arms, and we're going to begin with our cool down. Reaching forwards all the way down, really slowly. when you reach the top of your back, just breathe into this space here, breathing in and breathing out. Bending your knees, coming all the way down towards the floor. Heavy head. Place your hands on the floor and just nod your head yes. And shake your head no. Good. Holding your elbows and just take a really gentle sway side to side. Nice. Coming even lower down, hands on the floor, and just going to rock forward into your hands. Really spread your fingers so that you can spread the weight through your hand and it doesn't hurt your wrist. Bending the elbows. One more. Heels down, bending over again, and just go back to your little sway. This time, let your hands relax on the floor. And rolling up really slowly and steady. Taking your hands wide and just make a little hammock for your head and just relax your head back and drop the arms down. Nice. Reaching up. We're going to now get smaller and smaller. So this time you reach up, maybe you don't go quite as high. And in, and last one, up, and in. Rolling up through your spine. Take your time, the head is the last thing to come up. We're going to spread our arms nice and wide. We're going to rise up onto your tiptoes. See if you can keep the weight over the big toe so you don't buckle your ankles out over your little toe. Nice and strong here. We're just going to end here. It's a white dwarf star. Great, everyone. And lowering down with control, really slowly. Closing your eyes. Just breathing in and out. And in and out. Last one, in and out. Thank you everyone, well done, really fantastic energy. We're now going to return back to Bryony in the park.
I hope you enjoyed the dance. Now, why don't you try and see this for yourself? Get yourself a beach ball, maybe even make your own sun out of papier-mâché, and go outside and put it on the ground. That's our sun. Now take a grain of rice or a little peppercorn and walk 30 big strides away. Now we're at about the right scale for our sun and our earth. And while you're there, just have a think, contemplate, and appreciate our tiny, precious peppercorn planet around our magnificent sun. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the other videos in our Sun-Earth series.